Welcome back to the Vandy Sports Podcast alongside Joey Dwyer. I am Billy Derrick, and we've got some big news to talk about. We're not going to go for too long here. We'll probably go for about 10 minutes, get our thoughts out, and we'll have plenty of more content to put out there. I think we're going to get a roundtable episode in tomorrow. We'll have a Birmingham Bowl pregame show. All of a sudden, that Friday availability will be interesting to go to. I want to say Clark is speaking there, but Joey, this is a lot. There's a lot going on right now. But over the wire, throughout the internet, this is, I guess, official. I mean, On Three Sports, you and I have both put it up on our Twitter accounts, and I mean, everybody. This is circulating that Diego Pavia has been granted another season of eligibility, and Sam Ehrlich, who is actually an assistant professor at the Boise State School of Business, actually was the first to break this, and then Pete Thamel aggregated it and it just caught on like a wildfire. But there's a lot of legal terminology within this, courtesy of Sam. He put out like 8 or 9 screenshots of different things. So we're not going to get into all that right now because there's a lot of legal terminology that still has to be sorted out. But Joey, Diego Pavia is going to be a Vanderbilt Commodore next season. That's as of right now. Now, again, there's some legal loopholes and things that still can happen. But he's coming back, Joey, and you can't express how massive that is, and the timing of it right now that they just got this thing done is even bigger. That might be the bigger thing here.
Yeah, Billy, assuming it holds, this is some of the biggest Vanderbilt football news in the last couple of years. Diego Pavia was the source of Vanderbilt's edge, the source of its confidence, and it's got all that back, and it's also got a chance in 2025 to compete at a higher level than it even did in 2024. Pavia was the catalyst for what they did this year, and I don't think that's any secret, but now you've got him back, and you've got a chance to pitch recruits on. You can play with Diego Pavia, and even bigger than that, just having his presence, having his skill set, which is such a huge part of how this offense operates, I think is massive, massive news for Vanderbilt, and some of the biggest news it's received over the last couple of years. It's not often we do rapid reaction to one guy returning, but Diego Pavia is that big of a deal. He sparked one of the biggest turnarounds in college football this season, and Vanderbilt's going to have a chance to build on it. Last year, I thought it was going to be next year, I think it was going to be really difficult for it to build on what it did this year without Pavia. I thought it was going to have to throw a lot of money at a quarterback, and it still will. But man, having him to help you recruit and just having his presence around the roster, I think is a big deal and one that we can't really understate, Billy.
Yeah, Isaiah Glass from Oklahoma State, offensive lineman, just committed to Vanderbilt right after the Pavia news. Isaiah Horton, a local kid from Miami, just entered the portal. So you're seeing some ripples here. That could be another guy to watch. There's an Arkansas receiver. This is huge. I mean, in recruiting, high school kids too, as well, just getting guys in the program. But Joey, I want to apologize to Pavia personally. I mean, we go back just about a year ago today. We in the midst of a pathetic Vanderbilt basketball season. We say we're going to do a rapid reaction. We get one out on Pavia, and I say that Pavia is not a Power 4 quarterback. How the times have changed, and right now, we're talking about a season where he just led Vanderbilt to a 6-6 year, headed to the Birmingham Bowl, and he's the lifeblood of this program. Mm-hmm. That's something, and you didn't say it, but you might have thought the same, and so I mean, we never thought it would get to this, but it has, and he's won a legal battle. And Barton Simmons just tweeted, "Y'all thought we were done." So the fun continues for anyone associated with Vanderbilt football. It's big stuff.
Yeah, I think things like that and the chip on his shoulder are such a huge deal around this program. He would probably tell you he's not. I guess he probably wouldn't tell you he's not the most talented quarterback in the country. I think he believes that he's the best, but that's really flooded throughout Vanderbilt's entire roster. And I think it was going to miss that more than anything if Pavia hadn't been back next year. Just that level of belief, that level of confidence, that level of swagger that Pavia had. And that's going to carry over to the entire roster again, and probably even more so. Now you look at, does Eli Stowers come back? Harkley certainly didn't rule that out yesterday. Actually sounded pretty optimistic from what I could tell about Stowers' chances of returning. Him and Pavia obviously really close. I think that's something to watch. I think it's just something to watch with kind of how this team operates in the summer, how this team moves forward with Pavia as the head guy, because now he's got ownership of this thing. And I think everybody is fine following him. Guys want to play with him. And I think that's a big thing in the portal as well. Another thing, too, not relating to Vanderbilt, this sets a precedent for JUCO guys that
Yep.
they could earn a lot of money moving forward after playing a year or two at a JUCO. I think we'll get more into that. You guys will probably get into it on the roundtable, but this is a big deal for them too. More so, though, it's a big deal for Vanderbilt football. And now, instead of having to kind of overturn its offense for the most part, there's a chance you get Diego Pavia, Andy Lastowers back, and Cedric Alexander comes back. That's a really good core and a really good nucleus. And now Vanderbilt seems to be armed with some cash that it can throw at some other guys and reinforce around them. Vanderbilt's got a chance to be really, really good in 25. And I don't know if this is the start of that, but I think it certainly catapults your hope for next year into a big level. Rather than thinking about the 3-game losing streak Vanderbilt's on right now, you're thinking more about the edge and the confidence they're going to walk into next year with. And today is a huge deal, not only for that reason, but that's a big part of it.
Yeah, look at what they did with Pavia with you'd say an average offensive line, maybe even below average at times, especially late in the season. That he had zero time, to really do much in the passing game. They've already upgraded the offensive line. They got Jordan White from Liberty, one of the best interior offensive linemen in this portal class. Isaiah Glass from Oklahoma State, likely a starter. Just looks like a Greek god. So I mean, they're upgrading at the offensive line, but again, can they keep that rolling? Can that spread to the receivers? That's the big question here. We'll talk more about it, but that they got to 6-6 with average players around Pavia on offense. But with him coming back, all your recruiting pitch now is, hey, he's back. So come on, let's build this. Let's continue to build, and let's see if we can get to 7, 8, 9 wins. I mean, who knows, Joey? We saw what this team could do. You got to keep Pavia healthy. Keep it under the biggest way of keeping it healthy is that offensive line, and you got him back now. And I look at the timing of this as being huge. Before the Birmingham Bowl, a week before Christmas, takes off some stress from Coach Lee and that offensive staff. So I think, Joey, the timing of it is bigger than anything. Like I mentioned earlier, just because if this was a week later, say right before the Birmingham Bowl, that's some stressful stuff. But they got him back, and I look at the timing, but I also look at the portal. This is massive, and if he didn't come back, if this was negative news today, Joey, Pavia lost his battle, this is a hugely different tone. I'm not saying it's the end of the world and Vanderbilt football is dead, but it would have been a lot different feeling if Pavia in this news today was on the wrong side of things.
Yeah, I look at the portal thing, and assuming this holds, which I think it will, but I don't know the legal loopholes well enough.
There's still, and we say it's happening, it's official. This is legal terminology here. So, and we'll talk more about that. But yeah, there's still some things that can be done in terms of the legal, liability here.
Yeah, but I guess my point is, if it holds, it's not only about the recruits wanting to play with Pavia, it's about donors wanting to give as a result of wanting to surround Pavia. I think this guy is one of the more likable guys in all of college football. He's one of the best stories in all of college football. I mean, he's one of the more highly trending stories on Twitter right now that was poorly articulated, but the guy is a guy people gravitate towards. Donors are going to gravitate towards him. Recruits are going to gravitate towards him, and I think people are going to gravitate towards Vanderbilt football again in 2025, and that's another huge thing. They're, again, a national story today, and Diego Pavia makes them into that rather than just a middling or bottom-tier SEC team. Even if they are a middling or bottom-tier SEC team, they're a story that people are paying attention to, and Diego Pavia is the reason for that.
Absolutely. And, again, Diego Pavia is a Vanderbilt Commodore for at least one more year. I would guess it's just one more year here, but man, again, there are a lot of legal terms here. If you look at the original tweet from Sam Ehrlich, I posted his screenshot. Joey, you tweeted about it there, but he's suing the NCAA for extra eligibility, arguing that JUCO seasons should not count against the NCAA eligibility, given that JUCOs are not part of the NCAA. If not for the injunction, Pavia would have exhausted his collegiate eligibility. That would have been it. So again, that's what's going on right now. Pavia has been granted another year. The NCAA has a chance to respond, to appeal. So again, but when's the last time the NCAA won a legal battle?
Yeah, that's also a bad look for them too.
Right. I mean, that's what we talked about really from the beginning, Joey. People I talked to felt good about it. Clark Lee, just 2 days ago, when we talked to him, felt really good about it. So inside the building, they all felt good, and now they can celebrate. And I'd imagine there'd be there would be a big celebration tonight on West End. The work can't stop, though. They still got visitors, and of course the Birmingham Bowl coming up. But glad we're able to hop on with you. We'll have a lot more reaction to this news tomorrow and leading up to the Birmingham Bowl. But glad we could hop on. That's Joey Dwyer. I'm Billy Derrick. Thanks for checking out another Vandy Sports Podcast.